Hey YouTube, Briarfire here. Today I'm actually not smoking, but I'm going to be cooking dinner here for myself, my wife, and my kids. So I figured I'd show you what I'm going to be making and show you how to make a pretty easy recipe. Today I'm going to be making my version of sausage and peppers, and this is what we have here. I have 3 links of sausage. Now usually I would use a pork and beef combination sausage, but since my wife and my daughter don't like pork, it doesn't agree with them, I'm going to be using a combination of turkey sausage and one that actually is turkey and pork. I got a little bit of butter, some peppers. I got 3 green peppers, 1 red, 1 yellow. You're going to need at least 1, if not 2, yellow onions, a little bit of minced garlic, and a cutting board and a knife. Pretty quick. This is going to be a pretty fast, easy recipe, so let me get everything prepped, and then I'll get back to you and show you what's going on. Okay, so the very first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to cut the onion. I take the ends off the onion. What I do is split the onion in half, 2 separate parts, and then I peel the first layer off the onion, because you don't want that. You want to get rid of that. Normally that comes right off, but because I'm videotaping it, I'm going to have all kinds of trouble with this right now. Then what I usually do is I'll take I'll just make a little V cut down the middle and take out that hard stem that's in there, just to get rid of it. It's usually green. You can, if you'd like. You don't have to. I just do it, force a habit. Just make 2 little V cut in there, take that out. And that's it. Now you're ready to slice. I will get another plate. And that's it. Now what you want to do is you want to make sure that you're cutting it lengthwise. So this way you have long strands of that onion that are going to go into that bowl. And you don't want to make them too thin because they're going to break down. So you want to leave them, I'd say, 1/16 of an inch, 18th of an inch is fine. Here. That's pretty much it. And that's your onion. And now we move on to the pepper. Alright, so now you have the onion. What I'm going to do now is butter. Take a stick of butter, usually about half of that stick of butter. Now you don't have to. I just take a nice chunk of it. I'm going to put it in the pot. I'm going to heat this up and I'm going to add the onions to it. And what what's going to happen is that the onions are going to take the longest because the onions are going to break down. They're going to start to caramelize. They cook faster than the peppers do, and they also definitely cook faster than the sausage is going to. So you want to get those going first. So I'm going to heat this up, put the onions in, and then I'm going to continue cutting the peppers. Okay, so now, for those of you who really don't do too much cooking, this really is very simple. This is a very easy recipe to do. To prepare the pepper to make in there, I'm sure there's a lot of different ways, and how I do it is right around where the stem is, I just take a paring knife and make a small little circular cut around that. The stem comes out, empty it into the garbage, then slice the pepper in half. And then what I do is on the inside, again, you don't have to do any, you don't have to go this extra distance to do that, but what I do is I usually cut out the inside chambers. It's usually a little wider on the inside. Again, you don't have to. It's just something that I've always done, I do. You cut it out. Now, you don't have to get rid of the seeds or anything if you don't want to, but normally that's just what I do to prep the peppers for the pot. So that looks like that. I'll take those peppers, slice them this way, and then just slice them long ways. Again, maybe an 1/8, 1/4 inch thick, because this is all going to break down once it starts getting hot, heated up in the pot. And you don't want to have these turn into these little shriveled up peppers. And there's a little stem in there. Take that out. But that's it. You're just going to slice these up. And once I'm done slicing these, I get back to you again. And now normally, you know, I like spicy food, so what I'll do is I'll add a little pepper to it. This pepper is from either Honduras or Chile, I forget where it's from. Just to kind of spice it just a little bit, give it just a little bit of kick, and just adds a little bit of flavor to it. And then normally I just take my paring knife, open it up, now normally the seeds of the pepper are hotter than the actual pepper itself, but this is not a hot pepper really at all. It's just like again, just enough to give it a little bit of spice. So what I do is just one pepper, just take it, use my paring knife, just cut a couple little strips off of it. I cut them pretty thin just so it breaks down. Cut them in strips. And then what I'll do is, instead of leaving them long, I'll just cut a few little just very little, make them very small. Just give it, again, kick it up a little bit, give it some flavor, and we're good. That'll go in the pot also. Okay, so now you have yellow peppers, you got some red peppers, you got green peppers, and I'm going to add a little bit of the hot pepper in there. Just give it some flavor. And I'm going to go work on the sausage now. Okay, sausages are on the grill. I'm going to put them on low. The turkey sausage is already cooked. This is just kind of to heat it up, but normally, I put the pork sausage on here, cook it, and have this ready just by the time the peppers and onions were done, so that I can mix it in together with the rest of it. So we're going to close this up and come back. Okay, so the butter is melted in there. I add a little bit of oil, olive oil, and add the onions to the pot. Now normally I would do 1 onion for every 4 peppers, but I like onions. The wife likes onions, my kids like onions, so I'm adding a little bit of extra. I'm doing almost 2 full onions. But again, it looks like a lot when you're first doing it, but when they start to break down and they get thin and the water comes out of them, it's actually about a quarter of this. They actually end up becoming like about a quarter of the size that they normally would be. So that's fine. All right. So I'm going to let this cook, and then I'll be back. Okay. So now you want to stir up the onions. Get that butter and oil kind of mixed in there. You don't need, like I said, you don't need a lot of oil, just a little bit. I'm going to get this mixed up. Now I didn't have a chance, since I bought these ingredients of the day, and I was planning on getting some other stuff to add. So I'm going to have to use stuff I have in the cabinet. You add a little bit of black pepper. I use sea salt. I add a little bit of sea salt. And then I add a little bit of parsley. For flavor, and then mix that in there good while these onions are cooking. And I'll be back. I'm going to check on the sausage. Okay, so checking back in on the sausage. Starting to cook. Turn them over. That's good. And I'm going to show you a quick little treat while I'm eating this. I'll show you these. I don't know if you can see them. Can you tell what they are? Those are gummy bears. It's another little thing I like to make for myself and the wife. Normally what I'll do is I will take a package of gummy bears and put them in a Tupperware container, and then I'll put citrus flavored vodka and fill it up just so it's almost over, just a little before it's over the top of the gummy bears that are in there. And then you let them sit for a few days. You let them sit for about 2 or 3 days is enough, but usually about 3 days, 4 days is good. So I'll make them like Wednesday, and then they'll be ready by like Saturday. And then they absorb the vodka. The citrus vodka is really good. It's not overpowering. They still taste like gummy bears, but they do have just a slight kick from them. Just be careful not to eat the whole bag, because very easily you could finish off all of these in one sitting. They're really good. So I'm gonna go check on the onions again. Be right back. Okay, so now back to the onions here. back at the point, well, they smell delicious. They're very soft now. They're not rigid. They're not as rigid anymore or hard. They're starting to soften up very nicely. And this is the point where you want to add the peppers to the mix. So let me grab the peppers. Peppers in the pot. And now I'm just going to mix this up. And the good thing with this recipe is that this one still has the stick on it. Good thing with this recipe for sausage and peppers is it's so simple, and you know, you really don't even need to add any flavoring, any spices, anything to it, because the peppers have their own distinct flavor, the onions have their own distinct flavor, and then when you add in the sausage, depending on the type of sausage that you use, the sausage is almost always going to be inevitably salty. And it's a very good combination between these vegetables and the sausage. So I'll let this cook here. I'm going to go check on the sausage again. I'm going to mix this up and I'll be back. Okay, back to the sausage. Sausage seems to be cooking good, right on time. I'll give it another few minutes. I'll go have some more gummy bears. And I will come back and take the sausage off the grill and then cut it and add it into the sausage and peppers. Or the peppers and onions. See, I've had too many gummy bears already. Be back. So now that the sausage is done, your peppers are starting to get soft, the onions are breaking down. You could do this a couple different ways. You can cut the sausage up and add it directly into the sausage and peppers and let it cook. And I don't know if you can see in there, but you can tell there's a lot. See the water that's in there? You know, that's from the peppers and the onions breaking down. So normally what I'll do is I'll drain that off a little bit when it's done using a strainer. But you don't have to. Some people like it because they like to, if they make sandwiches, they like to put on the bread. I usually leave the sauce just cut long enough to put on buns. I'll cut up a few just to add into there and mix it around just to get some of the salt mixed in with the rest of it, and that's pretty much it. So pretty easy. Depending on the kind of sausage you use, you can be healthy. You could do the same thing with if you don't like sausage and peppers, you could do it with zucchini, and cut up zucchini and mix zucchini with onions and the sausage. And that's it. So take care, guys. I'm going to enjoy this in a little bit. Talk to you later. Bye.
Dad.
There you go. And then here's the end result.
Why tomorrow?
Sausage and peppers.
Dad, why don't tomorrow we call Poppy and we tell him we ate
It's delish.
it? Dad, tomorrow let's call Poppy and Granny and tell them we ate it. Okay.